I went to France and I climbed for the challenge. I did it for all the native people across North America, as well as the ironworkers in the world. It just was something that was just beautiful to do.
What did you know about Albert when you were growing up?
Albert was like the guy who decorated his house crazy during Halloween. I had memories of him like on his roof putting up like the Halloween decorations. Yeah. And that's about it up until maybe like a few years ago where I was doing a lot of reporting on ironworkers. I actually heard about the Reebok commercial first and then saw some of the footage of the Eiffel Tower like not that long ago and was like, oh my God, this is my neighbor Albert.
Are you taping all this too? Oh, okay.
Can I get you to introduce yourself with your name?
All right, my name's Albert Stalk. I'm known to some people as Eiffel Al. I live in Kanien'kehá, and I'm going to be 67 next month, not long from now. First time I go away to work, and I was on this 5-story job and I was connecting. And it was tough. They always say like Native Americans have an ability for heights. We have an inner sixth sense or something like that, or that we're not afraid of heights. That's bullshit. I was scared climbing up that iron and I froze. I said, look, you're either gonna stay and you're gonna work or you're gonna go home and you're gonna cry. You know, it was a choice, and I didn't want anybody to know that I was afraid. So I moved, and then after a while, the heights were gone. In the late 70s, I was working for a company in Kanien'kehá on the Mercier Bridge, and we were putting together scaffolds and all that, and climbing around. And I got a kick out of it. I loved it, because as a kid, we used to play on the Mercier Bridge in our town, and just to kill the day. Instead of going to caddy at the golf club, we used to climb up the piers and go chase pigeon eggs and run across the cross bracing and run along the girders. Luckily, nobody ever took a plunge.
The idea that Indigenous ironworkers lack this fear is actually a stereotype. It came out of a couple of articles that appear in 1949 and 1952 in the New Yorker magazine and National Geographic. The connection is that American media was portraying these Indigenous ironworkers as kind of being like fearless warriors, what ultimately is a stereotype and a myth. Certainly, that doesn't take away from the bravery that it takes to be an iron worker, to put your life on the line.
Stalk works the high steel in New York. The 32-year-old often finds himself suspended hundreds of feet above Manhattan's streets. Albert's a natural-born climber. So was his father and his grandfather, too. So are about 200 other Mohawks from Kanien'kehá. The people from French television are fascinated by this climbing talent. They featured Albert in 2 documentaries. Now they've asked him to climb this, the Eiffel Tower.
I guess I'm a little nervous, too, because I've never really climbed that high. The highest I've ever climbed was approximately 15 floors in one shot.
The Eiffel Tower is about 110 stories. Albert will climb it freestyle, no ropes, just like he climbed this railway bridge near Kanien'kehá. It took him only a couple of minutes to climb the bridge. He says it may take 4 hours to climb the Eiffel Tower. It's not for the faint of heart.
It's not the heights that really bother people. I think it's the fear of falling.
It's not the fall.
And it's not the fall that'll hurt you, it's the sudden stop.
Albert admits he's a bit of a ham, but that part of his personality only makes him more attractive to French television viewers.
Guy's in shape.
Rafi Show, CBC News, Kanien'kehá.
They said he looked like Sylvester Stallone.
There's this one that was about when you were in Paris.
Le bâtisseur de gratte-ciel est venu voir la grande dame de fer.
It's like a giant ladder.
What was it like when you were, you know, climbing it? Take me back to what it was like.
Oh, it was great. I was an adrenaline addict. I loved like doing crazy stuff and all that too. And at the time there, I was at the peak of my life, more or less, and 33 years old. I didn't see a problem with it. I just was like, I'm gonna go there and do this.
Et puis un garçon que vous connaissez bien, qui fait partie de cette tribu d'Indiens, les Kanien'kehá, qui semblent ignorer le vide, qui ont construit la plupart des gratte-ciels de New York et que vous avez sans doute découvert dans le magazine Ushuaïa. C'est Alberto qui de ce
I was all over it. I went all over the tower because I was just enjoying it so much, you know. And there was times I burnt myself out and I had to take a little break. And I remember between a jump one day, I went all the way on the other side of the tower and I was looking out and I had a croissant and a bottle of water and I was like a little dehydrated and a little hungry. I sat down inside the hole of the girder that's like this and put my feet in the other hole and my head was on top of the beam and I ate my croissant and I drank my water and I fell asleep. They were trying to flip a coin, who's gonna go over and wake me up? To like, you know, because they were afraid if I woke up I was gonna roll over and fall off. And we were up about maybe, I don't know, maybe it was 500 or 600 feet at that time.
Whew, good. Yeah. Is that easy for you? Yes, it's fun. Yeah, it's not bad.
How did it feel when you got to the top?
Tiring because it was a long day, long climb, and I had jeans on. I had a hard time getting my leg over the bars, and when we came to the top, everybody was up there, yay! And my wife was up there, you know, I gave her a big hug and a kiss. And this one guy says to me, he says something about elevator, and I'm like, elevator? What's this shit? How come you didn't tell me it was an elevator? You know, we could have saved all this time.
Is that Kanien'kehá? Yes, this is the.
It was just so great. I hung the Five Nation Confederacy flag on the top, and it was the 100th anniversary of the Eiffel Tower.
This was a big deal. You were all over Montreal news, and then you got the Reebok commercial, right?
That Reebok commercial, I laugh. I said, it took me to fame. It didn't make me rich because they banned the Reebok commercial because it was too dangerous to show kids. So, and they say I lost millions of dollars on things, but I never lost it because I never got it. But I experienced it. Like I said, the last jobs I worked on was New York. And that was something else. I loved it because every 2 weeks you had a different view. You're going higher and higher and higher. So the higher you go, the more you see, and then your view is unbelievable too. Ironwork was my gym. I used to go pick up bolts and I'd come walking back and then pull the bolts and I'm doing curls all the way back, doing curls. Break time there, I'm hanging by my feet and I'm doing sit-ups, strengthening my stomach. Hardly anybody tied off unless you were in one place for a long time to work because safety only came into effect in 1990.
Why not tie it off?
Why not tying off? Because it's the freedom. Some people say it's stupid what we did, but that was what we did. That was what our grandfathers did. That was what our great-grandfathers did, our ancestors did. You know when you're walking on the ground? Sometimes you're walking and you're looking around at the trees. That's how we feel when we're walking on the iron. We get so comfortable that this is our road. This is our way of life. I learned the right way, I walked away from it. A lot of my friends there never walked away from it. They're crippled for life or they can't go back and do ironwork anymore because of accidents. And I didn't want to grow up and my children have not seen me because my dad was always away. I'm not blaming him. He fed us and he traveled a lot. And he told me, if you can do anything but being an iron worker, don't be an iron worker. And I never understood why, because I wanted to be like my father. I wanted to be like my uncles. I took up iron work. Only then, later on in life, I realized that why? Because you boil in the summer, you freeze in the winter, it's always dangerous, you never know when you're going to come home. So I decided to take the job as a police officer, a peacekeeper in Kanien'kehá, so I can see my children grow up, and I did. I went up the arch. I believe it was the arch I went up, because when I got up there, I was on the top, and they were standing down the end watching me. Almost.
That's freaking high up.
It's about 160 feet, maybe.
How high was the Eiffel Tower compared to this?
Another 80 of these on top of each other, maybe. Well, it was 300 meters.
The story about Albert Stalk and climbing the Eiffel Tower and appearing in a Reebok commercial is incredible. It actually builds upon a few generations, a few decades of the focus on Indigenous ironworkers and how they kind of enter American and international fame.
Oh yeah, so when was the last time you climbed something tall? Like you're doing decorations on your roof?
I don't know, I just haven't been climbing too much lately. Because of, I don't have the strength I used to have before. I'm still in pretty good shape, but I'm still like, my grip is not the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.